Hey guys, I'm Coach Trinity. Today I will be walking you guys through some drills and things you guys can do for handstands. Before we start, I want to make sure that you guys have a safe space. Make sure you have a nice open space where you're not going to kick anything. Also, make sure it is okay with your parents. Please ask your parents before you start doing gymnastics. I don't want you guys to get hurt. Make sure you are in a safe place, nothing on the ground that you could trip over. And most importantly, ask your parents. With that being said, we're going to start with our warm-up. Each of these movements you are doing 10 reps of. So I'm just moving my feet back and forth. I do my straight jumps and tuck jumps. Then I do 10 high knees. After this, you are stretching to each side and the middle and holding each for 30 seconds. After this, you are doing a 30-second pike stretch. You sit down, you put your thumbs towards you, move your hands behind you, holding each of those for 30 seconds. You stretch and then do your splits. You do your splits on each side and also your middles, holding each for 30 seconds.
Okay, now for the fun part. We get to start our handstand. So today I will be splitting the handstand up into 3 different sections. For all 3 sections, we are going to have a theme of maintaining a straight line. I will show you what I mean by that in a second. But to start our handstands, you want to start in a lunge. You will have your front leg bent, your back leg straight, your arms tied up by your ears. You want your shoulders covering your ears. As you can see, she has a straight line from her fingertips all the way down to her heel. So you are going to start by leaning forward and doing a half lever where you squeeze your ears and you come back to this tight lunge. Notice how she keeps in a straight line. Her back stays in a straight line with her leg. We'll watch it one more time. After you master this step, you are doing a lunge, lever lunge, where you put your hands all the way down on the floor, still maintaining this straight line from your hands all the way down to your heels. If those are both easy, then I have a challenge. You can put 2 objects. I just have socks in your ears, and you don't want to drop them as you do your lunge, lever lunge. Awesome, now for the middle part of our handstand. Okay, for the next 4 steps, these are working on drills for the middle of your handstand. Make sure you do these drills in order. You shouldn't go to the next one until you've mastered the one that comes before it. So the first one, I call an upside down handstand. So she's gonna put her arms up, and then we'll go to the side just so you can see her positions. As you can see, her shoulder angle is a little closed, so we want this nice and open. You're tucking your hips under. You don't want an archy back. You want your hips tucked under. You also don't want your butt sticking out. So you want a nice, tight, straight line like we talked about before, and she's looking at her hands with her eyes, but not with her whole head. Also, I forgot to mention this before, but for each 4 of these drills, you want to start with holding each one for about 10 seconds. As you get stronger, you can increase the time that you hold them, and that will just make your handstands better and better. For the next 3 drills, you will need the wall, so make sure you ask your parents if it's all right if you use the wall. So the first one, you're going to face the wall, you put your hands on the wall, and you walk your feet out. You're thinking of this like an upside down, like an angled handstand. You want to be looking at your hands with your eyes, not with your whole head. You're making sure your hips are tucked under, you're squeezing your butt, and you're nice and round in your ribs. As you can see, she's in a nice straight line. The next one you will do, you will flip around, your tummy will face the wall, your hands will go on the ground, her toes are tucked under. As you can see, her hips were a little out at the beginning, but she tucked them under and they're nice. When you are doing this, you really want to focus on pushing through your shoulders, getting your shoulder bone to touch your ears, because that is what makes for a perfect handstand. After this, you can come down, shake it out, and then she walks and she does what I call a nose and toes handstand. I call it this because the only thing that should touch is your nose and your toes on the wall. And for this one, you're really focusing on your flat shape and pushing through your shoulders. So she puts her feet on, she walks herself really close, she wants her nose touching, she is pushing through her shoulders, seeing how tall she can make her toes, see if she can push a little taller. She's squeezing her butt nice and in, her ribs are a little bit out, you don't want your ribs touching the wall, but you're pushing through your shoulders, toes are touching, nose is touching, nothing else. The third part, we are putting it all together. I am so excited. This is my favorite part, and this is where you get to show off your skills. It is super fun. So how we start, We start in our lunge as usual. She's nice and tight, squeezing her ears. And as we said at the beginning, you are maintaining a straight line from your fingertips to your heels. As your hands start to go down, your back leg will kick, and you are doing what's called a seesaw. So your legs don't fully go together, but you do want your heel to be fully above your head. So she'll do that one more time. Notice how at the end, she has a beautiful finish, fingers turned out, her chin is up. And just a note, when you are doing a skill, you always want to finish it. If it's the worst one in the world, you get back up and you finish. So we'll show that just for fun. She's gonna fail. Here we go.
I'm doing a failed seesaw.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she fell! But then she finishes. Okay, now for putting it all together, we are gonna do an actual handstand. As your hands start to come down, your back leg will lift, your legs meet together, and you split on top. So we want the split to be here, not where your leg's looking all funny. We want your legs on top of your head. So here's how it should look. She's in her lunge, she maintains her straight line, legs come together, splits on top, beautiful finish, chin is up. Boom. This part's like super sassy, I love it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have fun trying your handstands.